Hello, I'm Kats, and welcome to today's video. So we've finally come to the end of at least the last few hours of the Deck of Fate, and I finally finished grinding in the campaign. So I've got my target of 13,000 points in the Adventure Deck of Fate, meaning that we just have to pull 30 Immortals to get the remainder of all the cards in the deck and get all of the accessories in the deck, which is kind of nice. It's definitely been a while since the last time I've maxed out a Deck of Fate, especially one that's not a guaranteed champion in particular, but the circumstances just feel right in this particular instance. As you can see here, we do have the 30 Immortals. I did purchase them using the remainder. I had 14 to start. I purchased 16 with my soul coins. You can see here, we still have basically 53 to go. So I'm not worried at all whatsoever about, any future guaranteed events or anything like that. I do have the resources in terms of mortals as well, potentially Eternals. I have 12 of those effectively. So yeah, if there is something else coming down the pipeline, which there probably is in relative to the Echoes of Oz event going on, then I could liquidate some of my other types of coins and get some sort of Deck of Fate in the future done. So again, not a concern for me. That's why I'm willing to do this. And of course, there is also the booster rates going on right now for the 5-star, 6-star perfect souls from Immortals. And I would like to get some souls from for champions on my wish list. Ideally, we'll see what we can get. But as a refresher here, we got Bayek in there, we got Yoshi the Drunkard, and we got my newest favorite nuker in the arena, which is Varkos Head Splitter. So Bayek, I've already purchased his 4-star up through the merchant, so ideally he would just be 5 or 6-star, and I could just save on Eternal Soul Essence. And then Yoshi's at 1-star and Varkos is a 1-star. So anything above 1 would be good for any of those legendaries. And 30 shots is decent odds to get something, hopefully from the wish list. And then for the epics, Whisper 2, still looking to try and get her up to 6-star, and then Basher trying to get him 5 or 6. So yeah, not much more to say. Let's dive right into the action here and just see if we can get lucky. We are going to do these as single pulls just because if we do happen to get someone from the wish list, I do want to reserve the right to swap them out. That way we don't try and get a duplicate copy. So starting things off with a legendary 4-star Udex Artor, which is unfortunate because we got his 5-star for free. So that will be sold. But nonetheless, hey, starting off with legendary is good. And I jinxed it. Now we get a 3-star rare. Unfortunate. Boltsmith, not too excited about him. As I mentioned a few times, when it comes to rares, I basically sell all of them unless it is a rare that I actually use on my account, which is very few by comparison. Juliana, not that exciting, never used the champion, so probably going to sell, or definitely going to sell that soul as well. Another rare, probably going to be sold. Apothecary, 3-star, actually maybe, that might be an upgrade, we'll see. I doubt it. I think my Apothecary is currently at 4-star, but I will double check that and see if that is a minute upgrade. Maneater 4-star, okay, it's an upgrade for him. I think he's currently at 1 or 2. I do have Maneater, although he's chilling in the reserve vault at the moment. I only use him for very, very niche content. Legendary, here we go, and it is Jetney the Giant, a previous fragment summon champion from who knows how long ago at this point. She's probably at 1-star at the moment, and I guess upgrade to 3, a little bit more attack. I don't really use her all that much outside of the Cursed City, though, unfortunately. So 2 legendaries so far. We still got plenty of room. 5-star soul for Slixus. Okay, it's good for his stats. He's not one of, to me, he's a relatively underwhelming nuker for the Lizardman factions, but he is a nuker nonetheless, and that faction's definitely starving when it comes to nukers, so it's better than nothing, I guess. Deathless. Her claim to fame was way, way back in the day with her passive, and she could deal a bunch of damage, or a secret skill. I forget exactly how it works, but don't really see much of her in the modern era. Ostrox Bagosh here, not too excited to see him. I have him, but I don't use him, so that 4-star soul will be sold. Mythical, I forgot about mythicals. Oh wow, 5-star for Androck, that's awesome. Don't have the champion, unfortunately. Yeah, I was so tunnel vision on legendaries and epics, I forgot that there's such a small chance that we could get mythical soul. So unfortunately, this is a mythical soul for a mythical champion that I do not have. But hey, maybe we can get another mythical soul at some point. That'd be great. I mean, a 5-star Galathier would be crazy. That'd be hella stats. Pestilus, do not use him. 3-star soul is going to be sold. Next up, legendary. Okay, wish list. No, it is the Incarnate for 4-star. I think, did we get a Titan event for her? I think we did. I might have her at 5-star as well, so that's probably going to be sold. So far, what, 3 or 4 legendary souls, but none hitting from the wish list. In fairness, though, if I'd gotten a 4-star Bayek, I would have been very, very sad. But a 4-star Varkos, would have been really, really good, because that would be the defense and the crit damage. That's effectively where I plan to stop on my Varkos. I plan to purchase his soul through the merchant as needed, but we'll kind of see where that goes. Lumberer, not exciting. I think the last one was Luthea. Don't really care about her. Don't use her either. Next up, we have a mythical Theodosia, 4-star. Don't have her either, but we'll take it. I think that's a higher tier soul for her than I had before. Hey, you know what? Stats are stats. All I need to do is pull these lovely mythical champions in the future, and then their souls are sitting there waiting for them. Okay, Ultimate Garlic, 5-star perfect soul for him. We'll take that. Once again, just extra stats. He's definitely a Cursed City champion at this point on my account, so not super excited to see him, but nonetheless, we'll take it. Yizzo, 4-star. That's probably an upgrade, even though I don't really use him. He might not even be ascended. So it might actually end up being sold. If an epic is not actually being used, I don't really care about preserving their soul. Ulfrig, Lady Mikage epic. Never built him, never used him. Sacrificed the first copy I had for Lady Mikage, and then never cared about him ever again, unfortunately. Offerees, the Tusked. Super solid. This is my reviver for the Skinwalkers faction, and I believe he is currently at 4 stars, so that is not an upgrade either. We've got 10 more so far. Lots of epics in a row, but we're not hitting the epics from the wish list, which is a bit of a bummer. Franox, I've heard she hits relatively hard for Knight's Rev, but not too exciting. Mythical 5-star Alaz, the Sun Bear. We're getting a lot of high tier mythical souls. Unfortunately, I do not have any of the 3 champions that we've gotten the soul for today, so that is quite unfortunate. Let's keep it going though. I mean, you can't complain too much, because like I said, if I ever do get them. Legendary Ursiga Warcaller, don't have her either. All right, we're just hitting all of these high tier souls for legendaries and mythicals for champions I do not have, unfortunately. Ashak the Wenderin, awesome champion, AoE freeze and whatnot. I think he is already above a 3-star though, so that's probably going to be sold. Another epic here, 6-star. There's our first 6-star soul for the day. Chancellor Yasmin, do not use her. Very, very underwhelming champion, unfortunately. Kind of like a weak Madame Saris-esque champion who's just not even worth building, unfortunately. Ooh, finally! Okay, Hellborn Sprite. We got the 6-star soul for her. Awesome. That means that she will be the maximum tankiness potential in the Amius fight, where I do make use of her heal reduction ability. So sweet. That is awesome. I don't even know if she might not actually be the face tank anymore in phase 2. I'll have to see the next time her rotation is up in Amius. We'll take that though. 6-star from the rare wish list. And in fact, let us drop her off of the wish list immediately, because we don't want to get a duplicate of that just in case. And I don't even know how many rares there are for me to really consider, but unless we got 4 more to go, let's wrap it up here, get the last 4, then we can kind of take stock of all of our spoils for the day. Another rare champion, Sanctum Protector, don't care, gonna be sold. Useless rare that I do not use. 2 to go, epic. Pharsalis Gravedirt. Don't use that epic, unfortunately. Oh, miscounted. We still have 2 to go, and we broke the game. All good, all good. Last 2 here, epic. Okay, epic is Thylesia, 5-star. That is the crit damage and accuracy, plus the attack. She might already be at 5, or maybe she's at 3. That might be an upgrade, though. We'll do a check. We'll do a scan through of all of the spoils of war here, and unfortunately last one is a rare for Cataphract. Okay, not much to be excited about there, but except for the Hellborn Sprite. I think that's kind of the highlight of the day in this particular instance. Let's see, Jetney. Oh, Jetney did not have a soul at all. Okay, I don't know why I thought she was a 1-star, but we'll take it. She goes from 0 up to 3. We'll definitely take that extra attack. Thylesia, yep, I was correct. Went from 3 to 5, so extra accuracy, extra crit damage. Great. I do have her, I think, in a stun set with crit rate gloves, so extra crit damage is good for her. Ultimate Garlic, from 1 all the way, or rather from 2 all the way up to 5. Okay, extra stats for him as well. Accuracy, crit damage. Don't really care about the defense. He's not really a tank. He is built somewhat like Eunuker. Slixus from 2 to 5 as well, same logic, although he doesn't really need the accuracy resistance in his kit, but the extra stats equals more damage when he is used. And then Hellborn Sprite, she's going from 4 to 6, so I was fortunate enough previously to get a 4-star soul for her at some point, but now we have her at 6. Sweet. Definitely will take that, and I think that's basically it. Oh, nope, there's our Man-Eater, going from 2 to 4. Like I said, he's in the reserve vault. Not really being used at the moment, but nonetheless, we'll put it on him. He is ascended. And then, yeah, we've got a couple incarnates who... well, no, I guess I only have 2 incarnates, so maybe we didn't get her soul from some guaranteed event or something like that. So, okay. Well, there you go. I might ascend one of them during a CVC for points or whatever, and then take him up to 4-star just to use the soul on him. But, yeah, I guess while we're here, might as well do an Axia. Got her soul from the Grim Forest, I think the last chest or whatever that I opened. So there you go. 4-star for her as a little added bonus. But yeah, not much to say there. In terms of the mythical souls, yeah, we've got 4-star for Theodosia now, so we can get rid of the 1-star. We've got a 5-star for Androx, we get rid of the 3-star. We've got a 5-star for Alos, we can get rid of the 4-star. So there's our 3 mythical souls that are actually upgrades, turns out. In terms of the legendaries, I don't really think we got anything super monumental. Oh, Ursiga there, we got an upgrade from 1 to 4. Again, don't really have the champion, unfortunately, but we'll take what we can get. And then basically all of the epics that are below my cutoff is I keep the 5 stars just in the off chance that they're super useful in some really niche content in the future. But basically, yeah, any epic who's below 4-star, I don't really care, even if I might use them in the future. I'd rather, most of the time you don't really need them to have a soul, and then if they do, it's kind of a bonus. But yeah, not too worried about that. Okay, there we go. That is going to do it for the soul summoning aspect of the video, and now we can switch gears and go into the Deck of Fate. So we overshot a little bit. I think it was like 13,000 and some change, but mathematically, not 30 times 900, 27,000 points. So we're basically guaranteed to get to 40,000. All right, so now when it comes to the Deck of Fate, we're going to use our typical mathematical approach. And so we have the breakdown as follows: 12 epic cards, 14 rares, and 15 commons. We'll simplify this to, let's say, 10 epics, 15 rares, and 15 commons, i.e. there should be 2 on average, assuming an even distribution, there should be on average 2 epics per row. Then there should be 3 of each of the other ones. So let's dive right in. We'll just start it off with the upper left-hand corner. All right, we've got a common. Are these called common or uncommon? Common card. Okay, so most likely if we're looking for another common, we would switch rows and just kind of gamble. Nope, we got a rare. All right, we'll pin that for now. Now the most likely place to find another rare would be in the top row, since we already found one common, and at this point it's kind of fair game. So the odds, again, assuming that there are 3 rares on average per row, the best chances would be looking in a different row that we don't have anything in. So let's click here, and hey, sweet, we got 3 of a kind of the rares in a row. 200 gems. Sweet, we'll definitely take that. All right, restart. Let's go back to the top row and kind of fill that out. Okay, we've got another set of commons. So we got we've got a lot of the commons on average that should be there in the top row. So again, our best bet is to probably go for one of the bottom rows, but moreover, it's one of the rows where we already have a rare. So let's try here. Nope, we got another rare. Okay, so we've got 2 rares, no epics so far, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. So again, our best bet, same logic, is to go for one of these open rows. Just kind of taking the chance there. Nope, we got a common. Okay, see if we can find a rare. Another common. See if we can find a rare. No, we got an epic. All right. Well, as I talked about in the free-to-play review of this Deck of Fate, once you get an epic streak, you definitely want to pin it and use it, because you're guaranteed to get 4 epic streaks by flipping all of the cards in the deck. So we're going to switch gears here. Now we're looking for an epic. Now, with that in mind, the best place to find an epic was probably in the top row, because we already have 3 that are known. So let's see if we can find one up here. Bunch of commons and rares, and unfortunately there are absolutely no epics in the top row. That's not a good sign. Okay, next best thing would be in the bottom row. There's 1 and there's 2. Sweet. Okay, I was getting worried there that we're gonna ruin all the other chances for streaks. 500 gems. All right, today is gem day. Apparently we're getting a bunch of gems. 700 gems so far from 2 streaks. We'll definitely take that. Common card once again. We got 4 up here. Got 2 here, None here so far, so most very likely that we're gonna find. No, we found a rare. Okay, we'll try to pin that for now. Unlikely to find a bunch of rares without finding an epic, unfortunately, along the way, just because we only have 3 epics discovered so far. But once again, most likely bet is that we'll find a rare in row 2. Yep, there we go. And then from here, we got 3 down here, 1 here, 1 here, 2 here, or no, 3 here. So the top row and the bottom row already show us that we're probably looking, rares are going to be harder to find in the middle 3. So our best bet's probably the middle row. It's just a random guess, and it's an epic. Unfortunate. All right, well, we got to pin it, and now we look for more epic cards. So probably going to be in the 2nd or the 4th row. Yep, okay. Now let's probably look in this row here. There we go. Cool. 3 in a row. Awesome. And ooh, a primal shard. Ain't mad about that. Okay, 700 gems so far and a primal shard. These streaks are really paying off. All right, let's fresh start here. Let's just get some information on this row. Okay, we got 2 epics. 2 epics so far in this row. None in the top. 2 here, 2 here, 1 here. Well, I think our best bet is probably this 4th row. Yep, okay, 4th row. Now our best bet is, well, one of these rows has to have 3, or multiple of these rows has to have 3. And so it's kind of a crapshoot there, which one is the most likely to have it. So let's start here, kind of finish out, see the ones that are touching and see if we can get something there. Nope. Ooh, we're striking out. We're striking out so far. Kind of going all over the place. Okay, we got to look in this row. There we go. Okay. Took a bit, but we found it. This is probably the stingiest that I've ever seen for the epic cards to be. Usually they're pretty much easier to find. But another 500 gems. So what, 1,200 gems so far, and a primal shard. And can't complain. Resources are good. Resources are flowing. All right, so we've got one last triple streak of epics to go, and so we can see if we can find something else. No, we found the epic card right out of the gate. Okay. Well, at that point, it doesn't really matter. Unless we get all 3 in a row right now, which is unlikely, but possible, then we're probably going to ruin any of the other streaks. And yeah, there it is. Okay, so there's 4 in that row. That's fine. Last one, more gems. Ooh, 6-star mythical chaos ore. We'll take it. And then the last one here. Cool. There we go. This is apparently my 5th deck of fate that I've ever fully completed, which is kind of cool. But yeah, not too mad, or not too bad, rather. Bunch of gems, primal shard, mythical chaos ore, good stuff. And yeah, lots of accessories. Hopefully these stats are decent. I mean, realistically, the only faction, at least at the moment, that I really care about having deflection gear in is Sacred Order. So I'm really hoping that we got some Sacred Order ones for my Glacea. But even if we do not, that's okay, because stats are stats, and you never know, we might just get some cool stats from all those accessories. All right, so that is going to do it for today's soul summoning session, and we can go find our lovely our badge here once again for the fifth completed deck of fate. So we're halfway to the fancy red one, but that's probably going to take a good long while. Again, I do probably plan to go for the Scarecrow and or the Tin Man, depending upon how they appear in showcases and whatnot, from whichever ones are guaranteed, or probably both of them. So we'll see. Might be a 6th deck of fate fully completed in the near term. And like I said at the top, I'm doing this just because I can, even though it didn't really work out in terms of getting, the epics or legendaries that we're looking for. There's always a chance. And so I just have a massive stockpile of soulstones, and I felt like this is a good opportunity to use them, and I wanted some deflection gear. So hopefully, once again, we got some good pieces along the way. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also participating in this deck of fate. Did you also pull some soulstones, or did you just kind of skip it and move on with your life? As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. It just help out the channel. And feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.